One of the duties that my unit at Fort Benning had was funerals, military funerals. Second World War and Korean War veterans both had burial rites. And a lot of black men, black veterans of the Second World War and the Korean War would request a military burial. So we would drive down into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, small churches, small rural churches, a church set in a big field many times. A group of 6 or more of us would go to these funerals. 3 men on each side carrying the casket. There would be a trumpet player playing taps. The trumpet player would find a place to hide near enough that it could be heard from the grave site and play taps from a position where he wasn't seen from the grave. We were set in the church as an honor guard during the service. Many times these services had eerie, beautiful singing, a choir at the very back of the church where you couldn't see them, and their voices rising and echoing through the small churches. The minister, with that peculiar rhythm of black ministers in the Baptist churches. I remember one funeral in particular where there were 6 of us carrying the casket out, and the man up on the right front was a Georgia cracker, white guy from rural Georgia. And it was a field we had to carry the casket a good 25 to 50 yards from the church to the grave site. And we had to go through an old cemetery. And the cemetery hadn't been cut for a while, and the grass and the weeds were growing about knee high. So as we walked through this cemetery and through the weeds, the man on the front right stepped into a grave that had been washed out, and he fell. He fell straight into the grave. You could hear him hitting and going through an old rotten casket. And we had to struggle from not to drop the casket. And he jumped straight up in the air a good 25, a good number of feet, and landed and was running. He ran all the way back to the truck, and we were left trying to balance and hold the casket and not fall and also not laugh. It scared this poor guy so that he was gone. He was hiding in the truck, and then we had to carry the casket on down to the grave site for the funeral and remain somewhat solemn, of course, in our appearance. Another day in the life of Harold Mayer.